Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Success Power Hour Friday with your girl, Master Coach LaKendra Smalley. I am so excited to be here on Black Friday. So that means the energy is really buzzing through social media because everybody is spending their coins, right? Everybody is spending their coins. Everybody is finding things, to make their houses look better, buying new electronics. People are buying new professional development because you're able to find better deals, and to get your whole life together, right? And so that's a beautiful thing, and that's what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to add in on helping you to get your life together, and it's absolutely free. So this is a Black Friday special that is free, and I have my girl. I think I could call her my girl because I love her to death, and her name is Coach Melissa. And Coach Melissa, I know her personally. We've spent a lot of time together. Oh my gosh, we've even done karaoke together. I don't know which one of us was the best. I'm gonna say she won. I'm gonna say she did the best because I am not a singer, but she will be joining us on today. So as you are jumping on, go ahead and invite one of your coaching besties. Invite a coaching bestie. Invite a bestie or a business bestie, just someone that you want to be inspired by what we're going to be talking about on today, just as you are. Hello, Coach Shanique. Hello, Coach Mariah. Thank you so much for being here. My energy is like so super high because we just closed on our new office. So remember a couple of weeks ago, I said that we had to move out of our Irving location because the city reclaimed their building. And so today we got our keys to our new office. So we have now moved from Irving, and we are now in Formers Branch, right off of 635. So we will be posting that information. We'll be updating all of our social media pages for those of you, can have our address, and we will start operating just in normal business hours pretty soon, where you can come by and get some of this love that we got going on our side of town. So hello, Master Coach Mike, how are you? So on today, we will be talking to Coach Melissa, and I want to tell you just a little bit about her, right? Because I know her personally, like I said, but I want to tell you just a little bit about her from her mouth, right? Just from her mouth of celebrating herself, because I think it's so important that you know how to talk about yourself. So when people ask you, "Hey, send me a mini bio," don't shrink to that. It's your time where you get to shine, where you really get to sit down and look at your accomplishments and celebrate yourself, bonk, 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 toot your own horn, and be excited about that, right? So I asked Coach Melissa to send me a couple of things about herself and a couple of whys. And so I'm going to share that with you right now. Hello, Coach K Sabala. So everybody is here. Make sure you are sharing this out. If you don't want to share it out on your own personal page, I get that. But you can tag somebody, bring them here in the room so we can all be in support of Coach Melissa. So Coach Melissa has 25 years in corporate. And I think a lot of her inspiration, a lot of her voice kind of comes from her experiences also. Just be knowing her personally and knowing some of her story. Corporate grew her all the way up, right? So a lot of her voice and a lot of her authority of teaching other people how they really can have a place of respect in corporate is what really is what she's all about. The emotional intelligence in that type of world, and still having a voice and the freedom to be who you are. So I can't wait for you to just meet her so she can speak a little bit more about that. She has 3 strong years in sales. She has 40 years as a church officer, right? I can't wait for y'all to hear about that because she is a woman of God, which makes it's, has she has a beautiful foundation. Let me just say that. She has a beautiful foundation. Oh my gosh, we still have this little thing up. A beautiful foundation, even in her own personal life as well as her spiritual life. And that's what makes her so well-rounded. She's also a registered life coach. She was certified by the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs. And so what inspired her to become a certified life coach? This is what she has to say, okay? She says, I'm a go-to person, and I realize that being certified as a coach will make me an authority on what I love to do. That was so powerful for me because a lot of people seek other things to make them the authority, right? Most people say, well, I got my PhD, that made me the authority, or I took this and it made me the authority. But life coaching is a very, very profound, not only lifestyle, but it also can be a profound profession. So that makes me feel really good that Coach Melissa, we call her Coach Mel, okay? So we call her Coach Mel. So that Coach Mel, like, really has the respect for the profession, and that's the reason why she is going to be so successful in it. Also, she said, I learned to know the difference between advice and asking powerful questions. The latter does help people. However, the former empowers people to take action and be responsible for themselves. This is all speaking our language, especially us who are on here that are life coaches. Being a life coach helps me to process my own thoughts and my own emotions. And as a result, my responses are better than before. And coaching helps me to appreciate myself more. And I learn to give value to myself more than ever. How amazing is that? Did y'all hear all that? Life coaching did all of that to her life. And that's the beautiful thing about life coaching. Hello, Nappy Coach. Thank you for joining in. Go ahead and tag a couple of more of our brand ambassadors. Get it shared out for me. And I greatly appreciate it. So I'm getting ready to bring Coach Melissa, Coach Mel to the stage. I'm going to bring her right on up here. Hello, Coach Melissa. It's so good to have you. I mean, we've done this a couple of times already, you and I.
Yes, yes. And I miss it. I miss this one.
How are you? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, we do not have Thanksgiving here,
Y'all don't
just
have
like in the
Thanksgiving?
US. Oh, in November? Is that it?
Yeah.
The one you celebrated yesterday, I think. No, we don't have it here.
Oh my gosh. So do y'all have a day where, other than Christmas, so we have like this day that's called Thanksgiving, and it's just a day,
Mm-hmm.
like you gather with family and friends, you eat, the turkey and the
Mm-hmm.
dressing and all of that good stuff. It's a day of gratitude. Do y'all have a day like that in the Philippines?
Uh, New Year, but
New
since,
Year.
yeah, New Year. As a member of the Church of Christ, we do not celebrate Christmas. So we observe New Year and we gather, the family gathers before the 12 a.m. celebrate.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
Coach Melissa, I remember that. I remember when I was there and we went to like a Christmas spot or whatever, and I remember you did not participate with us.
Yes.
I
Yes,
remember
yes,
that now.
Pastor
Like, oh
Coach.
my God, I remember that.
That's
And I
it.
honor that. Yeah, and I honor that too. Well, yeah, so we just celebrated Thanksgiving on yesterday, but it's really just a day where you can remember just being grateful and thankful for your family.
Hmm.
So, if you were to celebrate, Thanksgiving, what are you grateful for right now in your life?
Being alive and strong, because those two things the goes with each other. Because even if you're alive and bedridden, what's the use of being alive? So I always pray for being alive and give me strength so I can do the things that I love doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great
And
things to be
also, yes, and also I'm grateful for my family, not only the family in blood, but also in the profession.
grateful. Mm-hmm.
As a life coach, as I said earlier, you introduced me earlier, life coaching helped me a lot and still helping me a lot to become a better person because I now know how to process my own thoughts and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So before I'm too emotional and the behaviors are not really guided by uh, self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
But after being a life coach and coaching other people, I'm still learning more and more the value of, you know, uh, taking a pause, self-reflect, know who I am, get back into me. So that's what I'm thankful for. Aside from other many things, many other things.
That is so beautiful because a lot of people don't know. Like you really just gave us a formula, right, to success, or a formula to peace. And that
Mm-hmm.
is, you said, take a pause. Life is running raggedy, or it feels like it has been turned upside down. And sometimes you just have to take a pause and reflect. I really, really love that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a great formula. So, Coach Melissa, so before life coaching, right? I just remember some of your corporate stories you used to tell. What was the straw? Like, what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Or what was the shattered glass, where you were just like, I know that I need to take control of my life? What brought you into life coaching? What was that?
A difficult boss. Yes. That boss made me to decide that there are other things I can do, things that I can help others with. Being an employee and dealing with a difficult boss made me think, why am I here? Where
Mm-hmm.
I'm only serving one person or many other bosses outside the department. And I feel that I'm not really being useful, doing things routinary, and you are not appreciated the way you do things, where in fact you deserve. And I'm not really looking for huge appreciation, but what I'm looking for is the respect from a boss. But because he's someone so difficult to deal with, I believe that's a turning point that, hey, I won't be here anymore. I won't stay for long. And taking that great step, it's a great leap forward. Leaving the corporate and deciding to be a life coach. That
Mm,
I know I can serve people and serving me as well.
right, right. So you said something like, I didn't feel like important. Right?
Yeah.
I'm there, I'm serving, and I really just didn't feel valued or important. What does that feel like? For a lot of people who really don't get that, because some people are right now on their jobs and they have that feeling too, but they can't express it. So paint the picture for us. What does that feel like when you don't feel valued at a job, or you don't feel important, going every single day? What does that look like?
It's very stressful. And uh, some months I've been experiencing anxiety. Every time I wake up, I cry before going to the office because I really don't want to go to office anymore. And I
Mm.
came in late and I don't bother anymore if I'm late. You give me a memo, I don't care anymore. So
Mm.
that's it. That's the picture of who I was before I made that decision to leave the company.
Oh, that's so good. And I know a lot of us can relate to that, Coach Bell. Like, Queen of I don't care if I'm late. Just fire me if you want to, right? And it doesn't happen.
Yes,
We're
yes.
not firing you. So, or just sitting in the car and just like crying because you just really don't want to go in. It's like
That's
the,
it.
the anxiety of separating from your car becomes really, really intense. I know a lot of people can relate to that, or not even looking your best when you go, right? Your appearance that doesn't even matter anymore. You look like a bum going to work, right?
I agree.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I am right now. Those of you who are tuning in, thank you so much. We have some comments over here. I'm going to go ahead and show them before I cut you loose, Coach Melissa, so you can just have the platform to speak to all of our coaches and guests that are tuning in. We are streaming from Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a new channel that we're streaming in from on today. So I know that you will be able to bless a lot of people. Hello, Coach Nilo. How are you? He is speaking to us from Manila. Also, Coach Maria, she's saying hello, 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 hello. Nappy Coach Nia is on here, of course, and Coach K Sabala, Master Coach Mike, everybody is on here. Coach Mariah's on here. Coach Shanika's on here, and other coaches that I can't see from other platforms. But hello, everyone. Happy grateful week. This is gratitude week. So if you're tuning in right now, just put in the comments something that you're really grateful for. Go ahead and just express that out. Because Coach Mel is getting ready to go into emotional intelligence, and gratitude is a part of having that emotional intelligence, knowing what you are grateful for, knowing things that you need so you can operate in a level of excellence and in a level of respect and integrity and compassion and love. So, Coach Melissa, are you ready to have the floor?
Yes, MCK, I'm ready.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut you loose, darling, and everyone enjoy Coach Melissa. And like I said, you're not here for me anyway, you're here for her. So, I'll leave you and I'll be back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for those who are tuning in to see both of us, both me and Master Coach. I will be sharing with you how to overcome a work in crisis. So as I shared earlier, as MCK asked me questions about the corporate, I called it a crisis on my part. So how did I deal with it is the one thing that I will be sharing with you so I can help you if there are those who are experiencing the same thing as I did before. I hope whatever it is that I will be discussing today will help you a lot in their corporate world. So, here are my questions. Are you dealing with a difficult boss or a difficult coworker? Do you feel exhausted or burned out? Or do you find work so overwhelming that you do not know anymore what to prioritize? If you are experiencing any of these three things, you are in a work crisis. So, when you are in a work crisis, you feel that there's panic, there's fear. And those of you who went through, like I did, or are still going through a work crisis now, will know how it really feels to be in work crisis. It's very stressful. It causes you to lose sleep. You worry about the next day and you think of just taking a leave so you won't see the difficult boss or deal with that difficult worker you have. Can you connect with that? And just thinking of the things to be done, waiting for you in the office is already exhausting for you. To some, it is dreadful to even go to the office. I experienced all of these things and I'm grateful that I was able to overcome. And how this feeling of exhaustion, worry, and stress affect you and your work performance. For me, it's a lot, really. It also affected my relationship with my coworkers. I became irritable. I isolated myself and I prefer not to talk to anyone. I just do my own thing and not mindful of people around me. However, it's not healthy because working in a company, in an organization is always a teamwork. Everything I do, everything we do inside the company uh, is a chain reaction. It affects everyone and the result of what they do as well. So I came to a point that I have to really make that decision to leave for my own sake. So, do you really have to wait for this crisis to happen to you? Are you willing to go through the stresses, the anxiety, and just put up with those things like a difficult boss, a coworker, you feel overwhelmed, overworked, overloaded with so many things at work? So how can you prevent work crisis? Just one thing, by building your emotional intelligence. Why build your emotional intelligence? For me, that's what I've learned. Emotional intelligence help you develop three things: a healthy work habits, healthy work relationships, and healthy work environment. And without starting from you cannot develop healthy work relationships. And without these people around you working together, working with a healthy habits, you will not be able altogether create and develop a healthy work environment. So just imagine what kind of environment we'll be working in together if only we have a high emotional intelligence. So, what is emotional intelligence, by the way? Emotional intelligence has been defined as the ability to monitor one's own and other people's emotions, to discriminate between different emotions and label them appropriately, and to use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior. So if we are emotionally intelligent, we know how to process our own thoughts, and we are also aware and we understand other people's emotions. If we are thinking appropriately, if we have that appropriate emotions, of course, our behaviors are positive as well. So how do we develop emotional intelligence? Some people would say it's innate to us to be emotionally intelligent. But I disagree with that because according to its meaning, its definition, emotional intelligence is an ability. So it's a skill. So it can be learned, it can be honed, it can be developed. So how do we build emotional intelligence at work? Remember, we often hear it at work. Don't be emotional in the office because you will not achieve anything. When you become too caring, when you become so attached, emotionally attached with your people, you cannot accomplish anything. But again, I disagree with that. We need emotional intelligence. We need the heart to connect with people, with our bosses, and with our people if you are a manager or supervisor leading people. So let's start knowing how to build our emotional intelligence. Number one, practice self-awareness. Know yourself. Understand your thoughts and emotions. How you process your thoughts. How you respond to things, to people, to situations. Knowing these things make you more aware of yourself and how you will respond to other people's reaction and response to you as well. Take note that if you are reacting, learn to be responsive instead. Because if we are, if we focus on the wrong things that a difficult boss is doing to us, we cannot see clearly from another point of view. If we just think that, oh, I pity myself, oh, I'm being disrespected, these people do not respect me. So what will happen to you? You will break down. You will lose the respect of you will lose your respect to yourself. So be cautious of how you think and how you process your thoughts and emotions. And also always know and keep in mind that whatever your responses are will affect the people you are working with. So be responsible. Do not react, but respond. Number two, show empathy to others. If you are aware, if you are monitoring your own thoughts and emotions, be observant of people's emotions too. Because they too are human beings and they are going through a lot just like you. You may not know what they are going through, but believe that we are all going through tough times, especially these days of the pandemic. So value people, show empathy, but take note as well that bullies are around. As you show empathy to people, make sure that you're protecting yourself from bullies. Set healthy boundaries as well. Know when to say no and speak up if you feel that your rights as an employee and as a person are being violated already. Number three, show kindness to yourself. A lot of people, and this include me before, no, I was like this before. I don't show kindness to myself. When I made a mistake, I blame myself, or I don't want to take a break because, hey, you have to finish this. It's not good that you're putting things down when you are not finished yet. But please, when you feel overwhelmed, do not wait for yourself to be exhausted. Take a break. Give yourself a break. Pause. You know, how are you going to do that when you are in the middle of doing many things? Just give yourself 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe do a CR break or go to the restroom. Stay there for 5 to 10 minutes, or go to some area in the office where you feel more relaxed. A 10 minutes will not really, uh, do not feel guilty when you take that 10 minutes for yourself. Because a lot of employees think that if I take a break, I will be spending time for myself. I won't be able to finish my job. And boss will, reprimand me for not doing ahead, or of course, for example, you are preparing a report and there is a deadline. Of course, you need to meet the deadline, but take note that it is you that matters most than the deadline. And you can work better if you just give yourself break. 5 to 10 minutes. It's not going to take away a lot of yourself and your time from your work. On my end, my me time is, running in the morning. I call it my morning run or my morning routine. So if you're not in the workplace, weekends, try to do some exercise. Go outside, do some walking, connect with nature. That will help you recharge. That will help you relax your mind. And before you go to work the next week, you are refreshed and ready to, deal with another difficult coworker or your boss. Number four, value feedbacks. And some people call it criticisms, but I try to to be more positive. Criticisms connotes negativity, and we don't want criticism, whether it's negative or positive. It's still negative criticism. So I always use the word feedbacks. So feedback is what helps us to improve on how we do things and even improve ourselves. We have our own blind spots. We have to accept that we do not really know uh, things. We even do not know who we really are, how we affect other people. Because sometimes we are too focused on working and we overlooked the people around us. So feedback will help you go back to yourself and be more mindful of the things around you, including your coworkers. So when you hear feedbacks, when people give you feedbacks, consider it as an insight from people who knows you or people who know you, who know about you. Because as I said, you and I have our own blind spots. And if we sincerely and gratefully accept feedbacks, I guarantee you, you will grow as a person, you will grow professionally, and you will be building more and nurturing better and authentic relationships. And the last one is stick to your core values. You know, your core values represent who you really are. So what do you value most in life? These are the things that we believe in, that we stand for, and we protect our core values. We do not compromise our core values. So if you value respect, you value people and you respect people. You don't engage in gossips. You don't talk people behind their back. So your core values protect you. It makes you a better person if only you will live with your core values intact. So identify your core values and stick to it. You can prevent exhaustion, burnout, and anxiety if you will start building your emotional intelligence. Before I wrap up, think about this. Imagine a workplace where every employee has high emotional intelligence, or employees that are working hard to achieve emotional intelligence. What kind of work environment would that be? Will you still be feeling stressed? Will you still be having a difficult boss? Or will you still be someone who is difficult to deal with? So take note of this. Start building your emotional intelligence. So I hope this talk helps you manage your thoughts and emotion, helps you at least understand what you're going through. And if you need help on this, you can send me a private message. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who are watching with me right now.
Awesome. That was so good. Simple, relatable, right? And very, very good. Thank you everyone who is joining in. This is our Q&A time. So I would love for all of you that are here, throw one of those good questions out so you can gain some clarity from Coach Mel, because she is the expert in this. You know, she's lived it, she's created a solution. And I think whenever there's any type of problem in the world, Coach Mel, there should always be a solution attached to it. And these, how many was it? Were there five?
Yes, yes, Master Coach. Five
Yes.
things.
Five things, five strategies of helping you to combat, you know, being in a very uncomfortable work environment. Coach Nilo says, thank you for these powerful nuggets in the workplace crisis, Coach Mel. Thank you, Coach Nilo, for that. So if you have any questions, Please pop them up. I do have one that came through on another one of our channels, and it says, what are appropriate ways to build relationships with people at work?
Uh, there's a lot of people, difficult people at work, but I would recommend that you listen to them first.
Mm,
We treat them as our customer, and we are very good at handling, customers that buys from us. However, customers like our coworkers, often we don't see them as someone who also need listening to. They complain. That's what I often said with my boss before. People complain because there's something they see that is wrong,
mhm,
or they want to call attention that they need help. Maybe they're struggling as well with their own bosses or coworkers. But based on my experience, when people are complaining, their own bosses take it against them. So they feel disheartened and they do not speak anymore. So if you are dealing with difficult people, try to ask them questions that will make them speak up about what they're going through. How do
mm.
you feel right now? How are you? Just asking those questions will pacify them. It's very effective. So I hope I was able to answer the question. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
think that was really good. I think building relationships in any environment, people just want to be heard and really be seen. So to ask people questions really shows that it translates that, hey, I see you, and let's just have a conversation. One of my mentors used to say that in any type of problem, all you need to do is have a 10-minute sweaty conversation to get things resolved. Right?
Sweaty. Yes.
Sweaty conversation, because it's so difficult. Like, really, in our throat chakra, it's almost like I was sharing with one of my clients earlier today, because she's having problems with speaking her truth. So I was
Mm,
like, remember, like, if you see on a, like, one on the movie, someone is being, strangled, right? And what normally happens? They just kind of fall out. They blank out, right? Because the
yeah.
oxygen cuts off from their brain. Well, this throat, our chakra here, it allows the air to flow, right? It's flowing because the heart, if the heart is not beating properly, you're not going to get a good flow of oxygen. So you have this heart and then this brain that's working, and we're feeling like they're separate, but they're really one thing. And if you cut
Yeah.
off your voice, then the brain doesn't get oxygen, and it feels like you're just suffocating, like you can't speak. So you have to work
Mm,
on just getting it out. Like, even if it comes out weird and wonky, it may not be exactly what you wanted to say, and you may be sweating, your palms may be sweaty and all that, but it's definitely something that you can actually practice and perfecting your voice. I love when you said, Coach Mel, that to be responsible. When you said that, my whole body lit up. Being responsible for yourself. And in the
mm.
responsibility, there's still going to be bullies there.
Yeah.
Right? So even though you're trying to be, you're trying to give humility and you're trying to give empathy, that doesn't mean that you're still not going to have a bully around the corner. So
Yes.
how do you even deal with that? Like, it's like, you know what? I'm going to come to work. I'm going to be really positive. I'm going to speak, with pleasantry. I'm going to do all these great things. And then you still have that freaking bully around the corner. How do you deal with that?
I don't tolerate them. I speak to them. And if I cannot stop them doing that, I always believe that the best person to go to are the HR people. Yeah, to mediate between you and, of course, the difficult boss or difficult coworker, especially if it's already affecting your
Mm-hmm.
mental health, and also your job performance. Because you don't want, of course, to show poor results of your job, and
Mm-hmm.
it will affect how people look at you if you are producing mediocre work. So if you know that you cannot stop this person bullying you, treating you badly, consult your HR people. That's the
Mm-hmm.
best way to go to.
I love that answer. Because I think you've just given a lot of people permission to step, go up the ladder. It's like, oh, but I don't want to be considered like the tattletale. Like it takes you back to a childhood memory, in all honesty. Like I don't want to be considered the snitch or whatever, but I believe that is a authority in it. It's like there is a chain of command, like everywhere. Just like if someone violates you in the public or damage your property, you will call the police. So
Mhm.
there's still an authority, even in the workplace, that a lot of people forget about, Coach Melissa. A lot of people forget about the human resources. Like, um, was there ever a time like when you were at work where you had to go to human resources?
Yes, I did.
So you see, she knows what she's talking about. She's not just giving you stuff out of her head. Was there a good
I re-
resolve? Was there a good
yes,
resolve?
the difficult boss I had was, of course, reprimanded. He was told to, speak to us, not only me, speak to everyone with respect. And he was the one gossiping around, gossiping about me and causing divisiveness among the department.
Wow.
So I always believe that the HR people knows me better than anyone else because they were the one who hired me. They know my qualifications. They know what kind of employee I am. So who can I go to but them? So that's what
I
I
love,
did.
I love that. And it's brave. It's very, very brave because a lot of people don't tell it, Coach, because they fear retaliation. They fear retaliation. We have another question here from Coach Jade. She says, what is the most valuable lesson you learned in the workplace?
Value relationships, value people. Because, as I've said earlier, in the workplace, it's more of cerebral. They do things because they have to,
Mm-hmm.
always pressured. But I hope the corporate will soon learn how to be more humane in the sense that listen to people's opinions, listen to people's complaints,
Mm-hmm.
give them value because they are human beings and they're not just there to work and to give you income. You know, people are the best resources a company has
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
without them, no products to sell, no people to talk to customers and pacify them if no problems arises. So people are the best resources you have. So I hope companies, although not all companies, but mostly are seeing employees, seeing their workforce as just a means to have an income and to get profit. So that's it. The best lessons I learned, value people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think just your strong faith background too gives you, such a big heart, Coach Melissa. You're sweet. You're sweet as pie, right? Pecan pie. 'Cause that's my pie of choice. Like you're so, and you're always so embracing. And is that something that you had to learn to do, or have you always been that way? Like, were you that way as a child, or was that something you had to grow into learn how to do? Like just be so embracing and accepting of like all people.
I think I was born and was able to nurture it as well, because in my younger days, I remember elementary days, I was already, you know, helping people who are bullied, classmates who are bullied by fellow classmates, until college. Until today, I speak up when I see people bullying others. So I think it's in me already when I was young.
Yeah.
And how did I develop that? Since it's very natural for me, I just speak up. I just tell people, hey, that's disrespectful. I just say
Mm,
that. I just say that. Even people I do not know, even strangers, even strangers. I remember one time that in a grocery store, a young boy, maybe around 10, requested the cashier to put the bread and the other things separately in a separate bag. And the cashier may be tired, but I don't think maybe she's going through something.
mm-hmm.
He snapped out and told the young boy, I know what I'm doing. Do not tell me that. So, of course, that's a young boy. And he's very young to receive that kind of treatment. So I just said to the cashier, hey, he just told you to uh, put the bread and other things in a separate bag. So why are you angry at the kid? So she just kept quiet. And the boy thanked me for that. So I don't understand why do that to a young boy when he requested politely. So I just, do what I have to do on the spot. I don't want the boy to leave feeling bad about himself, or think
Right.
that I did something wrong because that woman snapped on me. I don't want that, because he's a young boy and will go through something, will get old, and that will be a mark on him. He will remember that. He will remember that. Although for adults, for other people, it's just a simple thing that he
Mm-hmm.
experienced, but I know that boy will remember that. So I feel like, just doing that will also make him a little forget about that woman, but
Yeah.
remember the thing I did for him. So it
Yeah.
seems like easing out the pain and the shame.
Right. And you exercising really your emotional intelligence really helped him to even have show gratitude towards you for sticking up for him. I want to ask you this one last question. Um, why is it so important for you to have not only a voice for yourself, but also for others that may have a difficulty in using that throat chakra to really to speak up for themselves? Why is it so important for you?
It affects everyone. For example, if I can speak up for myself and other people cannot, how can we communicate well? If everything is choked up, bottled up, how can I connect with them? And how can they connect with me?
Mhm.
We are all uh, connected with each other. Everything we do causes a ripple effect to someone
Mhm.
within our group, even our family. So it doesn't make sense if I am speaking up, going against the bullies, but
Mhm.
it won't make sense if I'm only the one doing that, and other people that I work with will not be speaking up and just keep things to themselves. That will not create a healthy environment.
Mm. That's good. That's good. The world needs more of you, Coach Melissa. Thank you so much. Like this, I always love when we come together because your energy is so freaking amazing. And so you speak with so much you speak with so much grace, but yet with authority. I can feel like your passion of wanting more people to have an authentic voice. Tell us where we can follow you more. Like, how can they find you on Facebook?
I have my Facebook account, Melissa Asido. That's my private account. Sorry, personal account. And I have my FB coaching page, Coach Mel Asido. I have my FB group, a coaching community that helps women to see their worth and be leaders of themselves first.
I love that.
Mhm.
And what type of things can they find? So if I go and I want to join Coach Mel, I want to join your Facebook group. What type of um, content am I going to find inside of your group?
I will be updating my FB group because there are some things that I have to realign first. But you can see more, you will see more about self worth, valuing yourself, choosing yourself over fears of rejection, fear of judgment, encouraging you not to focus too much on people's opinions of you because that one thing derails you from achieving the things you want and the person who you want to become.
Mm, that's so good. Is there anything else you want? Do you have anything coming up? Is there anything else you want to share with everybody that's listening, Coach Melissa?
I do talks in youth organizations, teaching students life skills, especially these days that they're going through a lot of stresses because the online studies and connection with other people. I also am, working on something with friends who are also teachers and professors in schools. I'm working on my coaching program about, it's titled I Choose Me coaching program. Choosing yourself over people's opinions and your fear of judgment. So I'm working on it and we'll keep you posted when I'll be launching it.
Oh,
So
that's
far, that's it.
Woo, congratulations. Well, you definitely can follow Coach Mel so you can be up on what's happening with her over in her Facebook group. It's right here scrolling down at the bottom. So it's easy for you just to go and type that in and you can join her group. As you were speaking, Coach Mel, just the growth of what happens to us when we're in, school or, any type of community where you have to go into the community as a stranger and build relationships. It's something that my spiritual mentor, Susie Batiste, says, and she says that mastery has sharp edges. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's never going to be easy when you're going into an environment where you are the stranger. You're going to run into difficult people. You're going to run into bullies. You're going to, have the isolation. So, the mastery of yourself is not going to be easy. It really shows a lot about you when you learn how to communicate more effectively and build relationships. And it was something else that you also said, valuable feedback, taking in valuable feedback, the constructive criticism, and sometimes even just criticism, because it allows you to reflect and really see yourself. So that's what I really, really got. I'm taking away from this, Coach Melissa. And another thing that I want everybody else to breathe through. So Gail Hendricks is someone now that really inspires me, and he talks about the thought that we carry. It goes everywhere. So just think about you going into a workplace, right? Going into a grocery store, like Coach Mel said with the little boy, and experiencing, that rude ass checkout lady, or going into an amusement park or wherever, walking down the street. The thought that we carry, the anger that we carry, that we have left the house with, the sadness that we carry, that we have left the house with, the joy or even the happiness that we carry when we leave a space and go into another space, it goes wherever we go. It goes wherever we go. So in every moment that we are in, that we go into, we have to be mindful of the energy that we're carrying, of the thought that we're carrying, because as Coach Melissa said, it can affect everything and everybody, right? It's like a domino effect. So if you are tuning in now and you miss all of that good information from Coach Melissa, she talked about 5 key facts that I think that are so great and easy to implement as well. And if you have a difficulty of implementing them, she is the expert. So get in contact with her. Her Facebook group is Coach Mel Aceto, and you can find her. Just go type it in. You got to do a little bit of work, you know. Everybody just want to click, 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 Coach Mel. You got to go do a little bit of work. Just type it in, and you will be able to connect with her. Coach Melissa, I really appreciate you. Thank you for saying yes.
Thank you as well for the invitation. And I'm happy doing it for the people who are watching right now. And thanks to everyone who watched.
Yes. So I'm going to put her backstage, and we have a couple of announcements. I'll be right back with you, Coach Melissa. So we have a couple of announcements that's coming up. The Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs, we are a bona fide mental health service provider. And if you are here in the Texas area, we do take Texas Medicaid. And right now we are servicing the whole Dallas Fort Worth area. We do take Amerigroup, Molina, Superior, and Aetna Medicaid. So if you know anyone from ages 5 through 99 that they just need a little bit of TLC, a little tender loving care, to get their mental health back strong. Maybe they've experienced a loss during COVID. Maybe they're just going through some difficult times. Maybe, they have anxiety or depression, whatever it is that you're going through, we can help you. Just visit us at JICEloves.org. If you look right here in the information section, you will see how to get in contact with us. All you got to do is just go fill out that form. And then within 24 hours, one of our specialists will get in contact with you so we can connect you with a great coach that can help you onto your resilient journey and getting back to success. The other thing is, earlier I mentioned that we have a new home. So we will be moving from Irving, Texas to Farmers Branch, Texas. It's like a 25-minute difference, but at least we'll be right in the center. We'll be right off of 635 in Midway, and we will be updating our Facebook page. Also, we got our Instagram back. Woo! So we got our Instagram back. We don't know why Instagram took our page away from us because we're so positive. Maybe because we're not twerking and half naked on there. I don't know why, but our Instagram page is always filled with information and just information about the Institute. So if you want to follow us again on Instagram, it's down under JICE Loves, but it's JICE_Love. So GICE_Loves. And you'll be able to also to reconnect with Coach Melissa there as well. Even on our Facebook page, we have her picture and her bio and everything up. So if you want to know anything about our coaches, you can always go and follow us on Facebook or on Instagram. If you want to know more about the Institute, there is our website page, globalcoachentrepreneur.org, and you can learn more about the Institute and getting certified. Our last certification of the year is happening on our Filipino time zone, which is it's a 15-hour time zone difference now. So like right now where Coach Mel is, it's already Saturday morning at 7:30. It's already 7:30 a.m. That's why y'all kept hearing those roosters back there. And it's so beautiful, right? Because we don't hear roosters in the city. So I love when it's morning and I'm able to communicate with them there. But our last class is December the 4th or the 5th. So if you know anyone who is aspiring in becoming a life coach, we do have that one class for the year. The last news that I have is our last mental health certification for only for certified life coaches of the Institute is on December the 11th. And we have a special for the year. So the class is normally, I think it's normally 14, about 1400, and you can now get the class for 397. So for 397, you can get your mental health certification, and it just opens up more doors for you because you will have more knowledge, and also you will be able to get some more special perks that we're adding on to the mental health certification. I can't say it right now because I'm solidifying everything, but it'll all be solidified by December the 11th. But it's really only for our coaches within the Institute. If you're here in the state of Texas, you can always contract with the Institute. And if you're anywhere else in the world, you'll be able to use those additional resources that you'll be learning how to be a more effective life coach in mental health. So we're really excited about the growth that we're having here in the Institute. I'm going to bring Coach Melissa back to the stage, and we're going to depart. But before we leave, I wanted just to make sure that we get all of the congratulations and thank you, Coach Mel. So Coach Quesavala says, thank you, Coach Mel, for being here. And we may not see you again until next year. Coach Mel, do you want to depart with any encouraging words?
Uh, to everyone experiencing work crisis, I hope you will uh, make use of the 5 ways I shared with you. And if ever you feel bad, you need help, I encourage you to reach out to me, send me a private message, and I will help you out. We can resolve work crisis, and we don't have to be in there. We can prevent work crisis. So that's all. Thank you, Master Coach. Thank you for this opportunity.
I love that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you on next Friday with another great guest for Success Power Hour Friday with Master Coach LaKendra Spalding. Have a beautiful weekend, and we are signing off. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.